My name is Jimmy Strates with the Strates Shows.
How did you get in the business?
I was born in the business.
Your father, your family was in it?
My family was in it.
And what did your dad do?
Well, my dad was a wrestler. And in the early days, they took the wrestling show around and played spots like we play with a carnival. They'd get the mat out, and anybody that could pin one or two or three or whatever the wrestlers, how many they had, they got $5, and that was a lot of money in those days. And then the wrestling show decided to buy 2 kiddie rides. So they bought 2 kiddie rides, and it was good. And then they bought, I'll tell you what they did. They had 3 partners. One was Bill Platt, was a farmer. The other was Nick Bazinas and my dad. And they bought a lion, and they had a giraffe. And they wintered in Bath, New York. And the damn lion killed the giraffe. And when the lion killed the giraffe, that did it. Bill Platt says, "You can have this damn show business." And he left and went back to the farm. Nick, who was a very good wrestler, said, "I've had enough too." And he went back to wrestling. So my father inherited the show. And that started it. And he had a couple kiddie rides, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And then he bought a train, and he went over the road on the train. And then we came along in 1930, the year I was born. And all I know was it was a show business. We bought a farm. We went to school in Corning, New York. Lived on a farm, had a dairy farm. And every summer we went to work on the show, all the kids.
What's been your biggest challenge in the industry?
I don't know. It wasn't really a challenge. We had a multitude of problems, which everybody knows that's ever been around a carnival. But we really never had a problem or thought that we couldn't handle it. And it was, I really enjoyed the business. You know, we worked, I never forget, we went to a doctor once, and the doctor said, "How long do you take on vacation?" We said, "We don't take any vacation." He said, "Oh my God, that's terrible for your health. You need to get out and get away from your business." But we really enjoyed it. It was something that, you might say, it was in our blood. That's all we knew. And the people we had were personalities that joined the show during the Depression. They had no place else to go. They joined the show and ended up with a lifetime of living here.
What would you consider your greatest accomplishment?
My family.
How about business-wise?
Business-wise, I'm still here. And I like it.
What about taking over from your dad when you first became the head of Strates Shows? Was that a challenge? I know there was a lot of controversy at the time. Would you be able to withstand the pressure, keep the show, that sort of thing back then? Obviously,
no, that really didn't occur with us. And my father was a boss.
Go on.
And when my dad said, "This is what we're going to do," that's what we did. And when I came back from the Marine Corps, I was a little aggressive. And his favorite saying was, "Easy, son, easy." You know, because I was what they would call in the Marine Corps a hard charger, and we got involved in it and thoroughly enjoyed it. And it saved my father a lot of nights up all night, which he was doing until I got in the business with him. And that really was it was a good thing on my part, because he didn't have to worry about it, because he knew I was there. And then I grew older, and he grew older, and then all of a sudden he passed away.
How do you think the business has changed most since you've been in the business?
I think the biggest change is the technology that we have today. The rides and the computers on the rides, and in our case, the fun card system, communications, and we got people working for us that are not even in the same town. They work on a computer. I know the girl that handles the insurance, and her husband is a manager of hospitals, and she was in Orlando, and they moved away, and she continued her job because she had a computer and texting and emailing, and it was the technology is here for us if you reach out and get it. And who doesn't have an iPhone, and who doesn't have a computer? And between your telephone and your text messages and your email, you're in communication with each other, you're in communication with your affairs. It's just splendid. I remember telephone is something we always talk about, because when you'd get in town, you'd find the closest payphone, and then you'd wait in line because everybody was using the payphone to call someone. So, but it's just been fun. Our carnival has changed, and other people's shows have changed, and the change has been good. The thing that we are losing are real carnival people that come and make it a career. The help is not what it used to be, and we've gone where we're hiring Mexicans to come and assist us in our operation, and they've just been splendid. And the government's made it very difficult as far as they're concerned. They'd rather not have them in this country. But you don't get young men that come out of school, and we're educating everyone now. Everyone's an executive. They don't want to tear down a ride or put up a ride, and that's kind of below them. And so you go where you can get the help. And that's the biggest change in our business as far as the help is concerned, and people that come and make it a lifetime.
What about the future? Is the future bright or dim?
Well, I think it's bright. I think it's got to change. I think we've got to be flexible and change. And I think the fun card is only the beginning. Our payroll now has changed, where they don't line up at the office and get it. It's all animated now, and it's all done in Florida, and money's deposited to their account, and that's how they get paid now. And we're about ready to go into the time and hour programs, which they make, and you can buy them, and make it so much easier to keep track of people and when they're working and when they're not working. So I think if we're open to the technology that's available, that our business will become a lot less burdensome. For example, we sold tickets, and then when the night was over, they'd come in and they'd weigh the tickets. And then when they finished weighing the tickets, they had to grind them up. And then it went to the other office, and then as soon as they got a verification, they would have to do the sheet. And so when we closed the show at 11:30, some people could be up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And now when the show closes, it's all done. The sheet's already made up. Everything's ready to go for the next day. And it's been a tremendous help.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Strates.